Hi guys, my name is Jana. For those of you who don't know me yet, I changed my intro just a little bit. I wanted to show you something. I have 3 different channels. Channel 1 is my channel for the advanced beaters. This middle channel is the channel for the beginning beaters. And my third channel is for those of you who would like to be challenged. Beginning beaters, if you came here, just pause the video for a second. And click on my little icon. If you never beaded before, then click on View. Choose Oldest first, and you can see where the basic beginning beading starts. Now, I'm working my way up to get a little bit more advanced every time with every video, and as you can see, there's plenty of them on there. In about 3 months, you should be up to the level where you can do any of them. Just choose one, pick one, and you're good to go. You can just go back to browse videos to see the latest videos, and if you really like my channel, then please subscribe. Thank you. Let's start beading now. Welcome to the third part. I've got my cross almost ready. I'm not really sure how much I want underneath it. I just want it a little bit more like that. And when you add the seed beads 15-0 in between, like I did here, then this will shrink, of course, a little bit. So I want to make sure that I'm not going to get something that looks like this after I put the seed beads in. So I'm going to go probably do another 3 rows or 4 rows before I connect the cross. But I don't want to have to work with the whole cross. So what I want to do is I need to make a stand for it so it can stand up, and I also want to do that with crawl, and I'm going to use the gold ones and the white ones to make a stand for it. And let's hope that works. As I said, this is a thing that's in the designing process, so I'm just going along as I'm doing this, so it might not work, but if it does, it's nice to have the video so you can see what I'm doing. I've got 3 arm spans wide of wildfire on my needle, and I want to take these 3 that are on the bottom, opposite above this one. I want to take these 3 and crawl with those. So I'm going to go through here with a new thread, and double knot that. Now I want the top row to the row that comes after this one. I want it to be white. So I'm going to start with adding white. So that's white, gold, white. And then I'm going to go into the next one. And this is basically what you did on the other side, but now I'm just going to use the size 8 OC beads for that. So the next one is white, gold, into the white, into the gold. Into the next one. White, gold, into the white, and into the gold. And then the gold. white, gold, and all the way around to close that up, this side. I'm gonna see if I can grab that white one. And now close up the top. That's one. Moving down into the white and the gold. Picking up a white, a gold, and going back into the white. Into the gold. White, gold, white, gold. Gold, white. Adding a gold, going around to close up that side. And closing up on the top, gold. 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 And now I'm moving over to the side, down, and into the next gold. Adding white, gold, going into white, gold, and the middle one. Adding white, gold, going into white and gold. Gold, white. One too many. And a gold. Going around. And closing up the top. Now I want a second row on top of here. So I'm going to do the second row, but with only gold. Moving over. gold, gold, to gold, one gold, closing the top. So now you need to do 2 more. I'm going to pause you until I get that done and show you what I'm going to do next. And now what I want is, I want another row on top of here. So that would be a row here, and I want a row there to give it that white so it can stand, of course. But I also want this top row now to go white. So when this goes longer, you'll have a white top. And the easiest way to do that is just start with white. So I'm going to go in here and just, because this is what I want my top layer to look like, is white, white, white. And that would be the easiest way to just remember, and it wouldn't be so difficult like that. And then the rest of them are gold, 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 into the white, into the gold. Into the gold. Gold, gold. Go up the gold. Add a gold and go into the white. Close that up. Up the gold and close the top. 1, 2. Three, 4. And 5. And if you want to, you can move over to this side to start adding the whites, or you can just say, well, I'm just going to do it the regular way. I think I'll figure it out, because this bottom is all gold. So that's 1, 2 gold. Going into the middle. White, gold. And close that up with the white. Up. And close the top. 1, 2. 3, 4. 6, and down. And finishing up that last row. And basically what you're doing here, you also need to do that on the other side. Here. So that you got like a 3 by 3. But you can't make it stand yet. It needs more. It needs to curve like that. And then we got a plan. So let's hope it works. And I think it will. And yeah, so that's it. Just finish up this last one and then do your other side and get back and I'll show you what to do next. Oh, in case you're confused how to get to the other side, just go like when you get to the outside, just go like that. And you'll be on the other side. And this one would be the best, so you can also do the white ones first. Okay, I now have 9 rows done, and what I want to do now is I want to make the side longer. So I'm just going to take these 3 and I'm going to go move them up and down like you basically did here. Move them up and down until I get about that length, because that needs to curve so it can stand. And I don't know if 3 rows will be enough, but I have to test that along the way. But if not, then it's just, this is going to be 5 rows. It's going to have a row on the front and another row on the back, and it's going to have 5 rows if 3 rows is not enough to make it stand. Actually already stands. Cool. But it's standing crooked. So that's something that you have all these extra threads for. When you're all done with your project, you got to make sure that it stands straight, and then you'll have extra threads to pull a little tighter on the left, till a little tighter on the right, or whatever you need to do. So basically now I'm going to work on the side and do like maybe 5 and then go to the other side and do 5, or just test it with seed beads in between if it will stand up the way I want it. So I'm going to go start here, and I'm going to keep that top row white because that's what I want now, is have a white top row. And if you got your crawl under control, you understand what I'm doing here. Gotta make sure that this is loose, so don't connect to this one. Gotta make sure that this is loose now. Gotta pick up 2 white ones and go in here. Two gold. Go in here. Bottom. Gold. All the way around. And that will make this the top to close up. And pull it tight. Going in here, down, picking up that gold right here. Putting 2 white on there. Going around. Into the middle one, which is gold. to gold, and around. On the bottom again, going around. And one gold. Down gold, into white, and we're back on the top. And you know, the thing with craw is you're always twisting it and turning it. White, white, go around. Into the gold. But it really doesn't matter how you do it, you know, as long as you make sure you got your fours on top of each other and everything connected, you're good. You can go anywhere with your thread, forwards, backwards, to get into that right position. Into the white, into the gold. And we're on the back again. Closing that last one up. With one. And the thing about craw is wherever you come out of, when you close up the last one, always when you go upwards, that's the one that you need to close off. So, now you got this, it's disconnected, and I want to do 4 more rows on this side. And then I'm going to go check if I put the seed beads in there, if that will be the curve that I want. I think the curve is good. It will hold like this when I stiffen it up, but it's a really heavy cross and I'm a little worried about the wide of the foot. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to add 2 more rows, 1 on each side, and I also added 5 rows total, so not 1 and then I was supposed to add another 5, but this is a 5 total from the 3 in the middle, so this is 3 plus 5 is 8 rows that I completely did to this side. Now I need to work my way to this side to do the other 5 rows, but since I also want to make it wider, I figure I might as well add the white on the way back now, and I'm going to start with the row of white because that's just the easiest way to do it, you know. Start on the top to see where you're going. So I'm going to do another row, and then on this side another 5, then I'll have 4 rows, then I'll have 2 rows extra on this side, and then there needs to come another row on that side. I hope that all makes sense, but this is the designer process, so my brains may go a little bit faster than the way I want to explain things, so but I hope it makes sense. Well, it stands up and it's a little bit wobbly still. That means right here it needs to be strengthened still, but I got good faith that it will hold like this, and if not, I'm just gonna tighten it up with Swarovskis in between so it will hold like this, and I got a feeling that my cross will hold on there once that is tight enough, and if not, I'll just go around another round if it needs to be flat, but I really want it to just kind of old-fashionedly curve like that. So yeah, I'm going to finish up this part and attach it to the cross here. So that's another like 4 rows before I can start tightening this up, which is still a little loose as is to where here the 15 O's are already in between there and it's more tight. It's not as tight as it can be because you still need to add beads here to get everything connected tightly. But that's up to you. That's your way that you might plan on decorating. As soon as I got my 4 rows on here, my cross is finished. And yeah, I feel very, very happy with the result, that that it will work. I finished my cross and it stands, although I don't know if it stands on my fluffy pad, but it stands, as you can see. And I want to run you through a couple of things that I did. First of all, we left off with this area. So there's size 11 O seed beads in between here, all the rows, and there is size 3mm Swarovskis on top of here to give it that curve, and it's really tight and you can really knock a person's head in with that. On the side I added size 15 O seed beads right here, and I didn't do anything in that corner because I didn't want to make it shaky, rocky. So it's really stiff. Through here I did the size 15 O seed beads, and I'm a little bit sorry that I didn't use the red and blue in between here, the size 15 O's. I wanted to add a little bit more bling, so I put like 1mm Swarovskis in there, but because of that it wasn't strong enough, so it's better to put seed beads size 15 O in between here also, because after I did the Swarovskis in here I had to put 3mm Swarovskis on the side to give it more strength, and then go through here with wildfire again to really make it strong. You got 2 gaps here. When you put everything together, I put some delicas in between here and a 4mm Swarovski over here. And the side here is done with first a round, and this is what I used the threads for that I had here, the wildfire. I went through it with 2 seed bead size 11, and after that I went to the other side, did the 2 seed beads size 11 here, turned back around again through these size 8 O's, and then went around putting the red in between there, because if you don't do that you'll have you'll see the thread. And then I went around again and then did the 8 size in here, and then worked my thread away. So I think I pretty much clarified all the stuff I did. If you're, let me zoom that in a little bit. If you're, as you can see, this is not this is like a little bit lopsided. You can just push that in and make that straight like that. And don't forget, when you did all that, let me see if that one's straight. When you did all that, that you need to also wipe your fingerprints off the Swarovski, because you've probably been yeah, putting a lot of grease on there, as you need to hold it along the way. So that's my cross. I'm very, very pleased with it. Let me give you a size indication. That's my hand, and it just basically covers my whole hand, but it's absolutely stunning. I'm very pleased with it. I have no idea what the value of this is. It took me 5 days to make it, and that's with the designer's process. And then oh yeah, one last thing I also need to add, I think, because you want to know how big this is. You do the first row with the size 8 O's and the 11 O's, and then I did 14, and then I connected. So this is like totally 16. So if you want to make this longer, add 1 more row or 2 more rows. You know, if you think like, well, I want that a little bit further apart, then just do 1 or 2 more rows. I also added some Swarovskis in between here. It will stand without it, but the thing is, I wanted to make sure that it is a little bit stronger. So from the red seed beads, I went down with a 4mm, went up with a 3mm, down with a 4mm, and then I just connected to one of these size 8/0s. So that's what I also did to, and now it just looks like this. Let me see that. Let's zoom you in a little bit. And it looks like this bottom part is kind of emerging from the Swarovski, so I think that's really cool. Well, that's about it. I hope that if you're brave enough to try this, that you will send me a picture of it. This, of course, will also make a beautiful Christmas gift for somebody that you really, really love, because it's a lot of work. I broke 3 needles on it, and that's the most needles that I broke in the last 6 years, I think, at least, because I don't break many needles. But I'm very pleased with it, and it's very beautiful, and at the end you will find out that if something is still a little bit crooked or not straight, that you need to strengthen it a little bit more here or a little bit more there, and then I trust that you will figure that out for yourself. But please, if you make one, share it with me on Facebook, and you can find me there on the Beading for Perfectionists, because I would love to see what you guys can come up with, although I don't think many people will take on this project because it's just to use and it's very, very advanced. But you know, if you are brave enough, then please share, and I hope that I'll see you guys next time. Bye bye.